I welcome you to the session on when a researcher should use action research approach. I am Professor Jitesh J. Thakkar, Dean Academics and Professor Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, India's first and only university in transportation and logistics sector. It is a central university funded by Ministry of Railways, Government of India. I would like to introduce you to the channel. The name of the channel is Professor Dr. Jitesh J. Thakkar. Currently, it has two playlists, Faculty and Development and Logistics, Supply Chain and Infrastructure Projects. This channel shares the intellectual content for the benefit of faculty, students, and industry professionals. On the right side, you can see the QR code. You can scan this QR code to explore the intellectual content on this channel. About the playlist, Faculty and Student Development. Faculty and Student Development is a multifaceted agenda which requires 360-degree grooming on three important dimensions: teaching, research, and experiential learning, even as it is mentioned by New Education Policy NEP 2020. This includes grooming on three important parts. Number one, it is enhancing teaching effectiveness using improved pedagogical skills, innovative teaching methods, classroom engagements, student engagement strategies, foster critical thinking for complex problem solving. Second, promote research excellence and productivity by providing training in research methodologies, data analysis, and scholarly writing. Number three, enhance experiential learning through projects, internships, exposure to real-world problems. This platform explores the dimensions of faculty and student development for enhancing the capability and quality of the most important stakeholders in the higher education system, that is faculty and students. Let me brief you about my university, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya. GSV Central University was created in 2022 through the Act of Parliament, and it is established by Ministry of Railways, Government of India. The university has a unique mandate to contribute and create best-in-class resource pool for the entire transportation and logistics sector, including rail, road, water, aviation, and shipping across technology, management, and policy, comprising multidisciplinary teaching, executive training, skilling, and research. It follows a demand-driven curriculum to meet the industry needs of the transportation sector, high-quality faculty with global exposure, and leveraging state-of-the-art facility of the centralized training institutions of Indian Railway sets the platform for the university to contribute and excel in the given domain. GSV is propelling the nation towards a new era of interconnectedness and sustainable development through innovations and best practices in transportation and logistics sector. The vision of the university is innovation-led, industry-driven to meet the 21st century aspirations of the nation and society, transportation and logistics sector at large. The mission of university is about best-in-class, best-in-world futuristic education and research, effective collaboration with industry and stakeholders, and imbibe and internalize professional ethics and culture to foster lifelong learning for a developed India. University offers the program both for regular students and working professionals. There are programs you can see: BTech in Civil Engineering with specialization in Rail Engineering, BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering with specialization in Rail Engineering, Similarly, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, artificial intelligence and data science with specialization in transportation and logistics, BTech in aviation engineering, MBA in logistics and supply chain management, MBA in ports and shipping logistics jointly with Indian Maritime University. And on the other hand, to enhance the skill of the working professional, university offers programs MTech in Intelligent Transport System, MTech in Railway Engineering, MTech in Bridge and Tunnel Engineering, MTech in Roads and Highway Engineering, MBA in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, MBA in Metro Rail Management, MBA in Multimodal Transportation, MBA in Aviation and Operations Management, PhD in Engineering, PhD in Management with a special focus on the sector transportation and logistics. Let us look into the context of this video. This video exchanges the views on very important topic when a researcher should use action research approach. This video is extremely useful for those who are the working people pursuing the research and they have the good access to the real environment and they are part of the decision making of the organizational setting. So broadly, if we see, then action research is a cyclic process of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting used to address practical problems in a specific context. It is a collaborative and participatory approach that emphasizes learning through action and reflection. It means the researcher is part of an action-taking team. Now, if we look at the key characteristics of the action research, then it has a practical focus, aims to solve real-world problem and improve the practices in the natural setting. Number two, it's a cyclic process, follows a repeating cycle of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. And number three, it is participatory, expects the involvement of stakeholders, those affected by the problems in the research process. It is collaborative in nature, encourages collaboration between researchers and participants, reflective, emphasizes critical reflection on the actions taken and what are their outcomes. Context specific, focuses on particular context or setting. And number seven, simultaneous actions and research. You are part of action taking team. So combines taking action with conducting research to generate knowledge and improve the practices. So if we broadly see, then the action research cycle, it includes number one, planning. I will identify the problem or area for improvement, gather the data, develop plan of action. Number two, acting, implement a plan of action because I am part of action taking team. Number three, observing, collect data on the effects of the action. And number four, reflecting, analyzing the data, reflect on the outcomes and identify lessons learned. This reflection informs the next cycle of planning. Couple of examples if you see that can help you to appreciate the importance of action research, then let us say I want to improve the classroom teaching. The problem is a teacher notices that students in their class are struggling with understanding a particular mathematical concept. Planning, the teacher plans to implement a new teaching strategy, such as using visual aids or group work. Acting, the teacher implements the new strategy in the classroom, so he is part of action team. Observing, the teacher collects the data on student performance through quizzes, assignments, and observations. And reflecting, the teacher analyzes the data and reflects on the effectiveness of the new strategy. Based on the findings, they may adjust the strategy or plan new action for the next cycle. So it is a cyclic process. Similarly, I want to enhance the organizational communication. The problem is a manager in a company observes that communication between departments is poor, leading misunderstanding and inefficiencies. planning, the manager plans to implement a new communication tool or process such as regular cross-departmental meetings or shared online platform. Acting, the manager implements the new tool or processes. Observing, the manager collects the data on communication effectiveness through surveys, interviews, and observations of team interaction. Reflecting, the manager analyzes the data and reflects on the impact of new tools or processes, and they may refine the process or plan further actions to improve the communication. There are key differences when we talk about the action research from other approaches. Here, the focus is on action compared to your inferential statistical research or case study research or maybe the simulation-based research, and primarily focus is on generating knowledge. Action research emphasizes taking action to solve problems. Participatory nature. Unlike other research approaches where researchers are external, they gather the data, they interact with the people, here you are part of the decision-making team and there is active participation of a researcher while they are acting on the decisions, and on the other side, they are doing the research. Context-specific outcomes. Unlike research that aims for generalization of the findings, action research focuses on producing outcomes that are relevant to a specific context. For example, you are working in the petrochemical industry organization or you are in the cement organization, then your findings, hypotheses tested or propositions examined are absolutely confined to that particular organization. So action research is a valuable approach for professionals in various fields, including education, healthcare, social work, organizational development, who seek to improve their practice and create positive change in their specific context. So broadly, if we just look at what we discussed so far, then action research is a dynamic, cyclic process where practitioners investigate their own practices to improve them. In the business and management domain, it is particularly valuable for addressing real-world problems and fostering organizational learning. There is one interesting and highly recognized cited paper in the domain of action research, typically applied to the operations management area. And the paper basically talks about, it is published by Coglan and Coglan 2002, Action Research in Operations Management. The paper is published in International Journal of Operations and Production Management, volume 22, number 2, page number 220 to 240. This paper provides very clear-cut guideline with suitable examples to understand how we can execute the action research in real world. So this article addresses a fundamental methodological question: how can operations manager and researcher learn from applied activity that characterizes the practice of OM from the applied domain, and it argues for the value and legitimacy of action research as a rigorous and relevant research methodology in the domain of operations management. So let us look into some of the guidelines and steps provided by this particular paper. So this paper provides several key guidelines for conducting the action research, typically in the domain of operations management. And if we look at some of the important ones, then number one, focus on practical problems and improvements. Research should address real-world problems faced by operations. For example, operations management wants to reduce the defect rates, improve the quality of the product or services, then that is your problem. The goal should be to improve the practice and generate the practical knowledge. Number two, collaborative and participatory approach. It involves relevant stakeholders, managers, employees in the research process, foster collaboration between researchers and practitioners. It is a cyclic process of action and reflection follow a cyclic process of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting, and typically iterates this cycle multiple times. As you get into the problem, take the intervention, and then you once again try to reflect. It is a cyclic process, and you keep on refining your actions depending upon the understanding inferences evolved. Number 4, rigorous data collection and analysis. You use multiple data collection methods, introduce observations, documents, qualitative data, employ rigorous data analysis techniques to ensure the validity and reliability of findings. Number 5, explicit reflection and learning. Engage in explicit reflection on the actions taken and their outcomes. Document the learning that occur through the process of following the action research. Number 6, balancing rigor and relevance. So strive for the both rigor and the relevance, that is methodological soundness, and the relevance, that is practical applicability. Recognize that action research may prioritize relevance over generalizability in some cases. Number 7, addressing ethical considerations. Ensure ethical conduct throughout the research process when you are operating with the cyclic process, and obtain information with the consent from the participants. Protect the confidentiality of the data because you are part of the decision-making team of a particular problem organization is facing. Number 8, documenting the research process. Maintain detailed record of the research process, including plans, actions, observations, and reflection. And this documentation is crucial for ensuring transparency and enabling others to learn from the research. Developing theory from practice. While action research is primarily on practical improvement, it can also contribute to theory development. So when you reflect on the actions and outcomes, researcher can generate new insights and theoretical propositions. Number 10, managing the action research process. You need to recognize the action research is an emergent process that may require flexibility and adaptability. Establish clear goal, responsibility for researchers and participants, and manage the time and resources effectively. So these are the broad guidelines. When you want to conduct the action research, you look at the prerequisite, and under those prerequisite, you execute the process under the considerations of important guidelines. So Coglan P and Coglan D advocate for a structured and rigorous approach to action research in operations management, emphasizing the importance of collaboration, reflection, and learning from the experiences. Let us look into when the core issue when a researcher should use action research approach. So researchers should consider using the action research approach when the research situation has the following characteristics. Number 1, my focus is on solving practical problem. That is the first and foremost thing. Real world issue, there is a specific practical problem or area, workplace, classroom, community. My approach action research becomes the best fit approach. Need for action. The situation requires not just understanding of the problems or drawing recommendations, but also taking action to bring some improvement in the situation. Number 2, emphasis on collaboration and participation. So strongly action research believes there has to be collaboration among the stakeholders, participants to evolve the insight, and interaction is utmost importance to take the rational, wise, say, interventions to bring change in the situation and resolve the problem. Third, desire for change and improvement. Goal of change is to bring about positive change or improvement in the specific context. Iterative improvement, it is the continuous improvement, not that in one go you will bring the change, entire change. You can make the process 6 sigma. It is an iterative process. Maybe at present you are at 2 sigma, you can go to 3 sigma, 4 sigma, and so on. Context specific focus, unique setting, Problem in its solutions are closely tied into specific context or setting, and I cannot generalize it beyond the context. Need for learning through action. So learning by doing is the concept here, and I get engaged into decision making interventionist team and try to bring some change, improvement, positive change in the situation, and I learn about my action and try to draw the researching insights. Specific situations where action research is particularly suitable. Number one, education, improving teaching practices, curriculum development, classroom management, organizational development, enhancing communication, teamwork, leadership, organizational effectiveness. No other approach will really benefit you like action research in this kind of situations. Community development, addressing social issue, improving community service, and improving local resident. You have to be part of the action interventionalist team and see that you are very much engrossed into the problem and action taking process, and you have the opportunity to see the positive change reflect on it. Healthcare, improving patient care, implementing new healthcare practices, and enhancing healthcare delivery systems. One example we may a little bit study in detail. Researcher is working with a team of nurses in a hospital ward to reduce patient falls. An action research could be the fit case. Practical problem, patient falls are a significant problem in the ward and that causes the injury. Stakeholder involvement, nurses are directly involved in patient care and have valuable insights into the problem. Is it the problem with the ergonomics of the furniture? Is it the floor which is slippery? Is it the stability issue or non-availability of the supporting mechanism? Desire for change. The goal is to reduce number of patient falls and context-specific focus. Research is focused on a specific hospital ward. Even you cannot generalize it beyond that ward because the infrastructure of that ward, condition of the patient, the services of the nurse, and the skill level of the people involved is absolutely different. Learning through action. Researcher and nurses will learn from the process of implementing, evaluating different interventions to reduce the falls. Let us see how do we deploy action research process, typically called ARP. So I will try to elaborate this through example. Example one, it is about improving, say, team communication in a project-based company. So the problem is like this. A software development company notices recurring issues with the project deadlines and client satisfaction potentially stemming from poor internal team communication. It's a very valid problem. You have a poor team communication and that results into the lack of integration with the client and customer satisfaction. Action research process, you will first go for the planning. Project manager along with the team members plans to implement new communication tools and protocols, daily stand-up meeting, shared online project boards. Number two, acting. The team implement the new tools and protocols for a designated project. Number three, observing. The project manager tracks project progress, observe team interactions, and collects feedback through surveys and interviews. Number four, reflecting. The team analyzes the data, identifying that work well and what needs adjustment. They refine the communication strategies based on their findings. Repeat. The refined communication strategies are then implemented in futuristic projects with the action research cycle repeating to allow for constant improvement. So obviously the outcome is improved project timeline, increased team cohesion, collaboration, and enhanced client satisfaction. The other example is about retail store, and I want to enhance the customer satisfaction scores and increase customer complaints. That is one of the issue of great concern. So planning is store manager with input from the customer service staff plans to implement new customer service training and revise customer feedback mechanism. Acting staff undergoes the new training. The store introduces a digital feedback system. They are trying to improvise the technology. Observing, manager monitors feedback, observes, staff customer interaction, and tracks the sales data. Number 4, reflecting, the team analyzes the feedback, identifies areas for improvement in training and feedback system, and refines the customer service protocol. Repeat, the customer service protocols are then refined and the action research cycle continues. Obviously, the outcome is increased customer satisfaction, improved staff morale, and potentially increased sales. Another example you may appreciate, implementing a new performance appraisal system. It's a very, very sensitive issue because the sentiment, moral, and emotions of the people are involved, employee are involved. So the problem is a company recognizes that its current performance appraisal system is not effectively motivating employee, boosting their morale, and helping them really to deliver the productivity. So action research process goes like this: planning. HR, with input from managers and employees, plans to pilot a new, more feedback-oriented performance appraisal system in a specific department. Acting, the new system is implemented in the pilot department. Observing, HR collects feedback through surveys, interviews, and performance data. Number 4, reflecting, HR analyzes the data, identifies strengths and weaknesses of the new system, and make adjustments. Repeat, the system is often refined and potentially rolled out to other departments with the action research cycle continuing. Obviously, the outcome would be more effective and motivating performance appraisal system, improved employee engagement, and the enhanced performance. Before we close our discussion on the action research, I would like to deliberate on the case study. The case study is about enhancing driver productivity in a local logistics company. So the problem is like this: Swift Move Logistics, a local transportation company, is specializing in last mile delivery. It's a very critical function, and it is experiencing fluctuating driver productivity. Delivery times were inconsistent and customer complaints are increasing. The management suspected that driver productivity was a key factor, but lacked concrete data. Unless you have the concrete data, you cannot really take the action and insights into the issue. An action research approach was adopted to understand the problem and implement the sustainable solutions. Problem identification and planning is the second phase in action research process. So initial observation, management observed significant variation in delivery completion time, even for similar routes. Driver feedback indicated issues with the route planning, traffic congestion, vehicle maintenance. Customer complaint highlighted delays and inconsistent delivery windows. You get into the planning phase. A collaborative action research team was formed comprising drivers, supervisors, and management representatives. The team identified the key areas for investigation. Number 1, route optimization. Number 2, vehicle maintenance. Number 3, communication and information flow. Number 4, driver training and support. Data collection methods were implemented: GPS tracking data system, driver interviews and focus groups, delivery time records, and number 4, customer feedback analysis. Number 3, in your action research process, you get into the action and observation because you are part of the interventionist team. So action 1, route optimization pilot. A new route optimization software was implemented for a pilot group of drivers. GPS data showed a reduction in total mileage and travel time for the pilot group. Drivers reported improved route clarity and reduced stress. Action 2, enhanced vehicle maintenance checklist. So more detailed maintenance checklist was introduced with drivers responsible for daily checks, reduced vehicle breakdowns, improved the driver's confidence in the vehicle reliability. Action 3, real-time communication system. Mobile app with real-time communication features was implemented, and this has enabled the drivers to report delays and receive updated information. Observation, improve communication between drivers and dispatchers, reduce customer complaint related to delivery delays. Action 4, driver training and feedback session, which has increased the driver morale. Driver felt more valued and improved understanding of the company policy. Step 4, you get into the reflection and refinement. So as a part of reflection, the action research team analyzed the collected data and feedback. Pilot route optimization software proved effective and was rolled out to all the drivers. So you are now trying to reflect what to do, what not to do based on your pilot study. The enhanced vehicle maintenance checklist has significantly reduced the breakdown, and real-time communication system has improved the flow of information and reduced delays, and driver morale has gone high. Refinement, the route optimization software was further customized based on driver feedback to enable them. The vehicle maintenance checklist was integrated into the company's digital platform for better clarity and synchronization. Real-time communication system was expanded to include customer notification, and driver training sessions were scheduled on a regular basis. So you have seen the positive improvement in the driver morale, driver productivity, customer satisfaction, and then you get to know that what are the important actions that really to be adopted in a sustainable measure as a part of your policy. Number 5, outcomes and future action. Outcomes, as we discussed, there is a significant improvement in the productivity of driver, delivery completion time, morale, customer complaints has gone down, vehicle reliability has increased, and there is increase of overall productivity. Based on this, the company has decided to decide about set of future actions. Continuous monitoring of KPIs, key performance indicators, to ensure sustained improvement. Number 2, regular review and refinement of the implemented solution. Number 3, exploration of new technologies and best practices. Number 4, implementation of a driver reward system to boost their morale based on performance. And number 5, expansion of the action research approach to other areas of the business. So the conclusion of this particular case is the action research approach has really benefited the company to derive some of the key solutions which are well tested for a pilot project and refine them further to sustain through policy, through practices, or through the digital platform. The takeaway from this discussion, various examples, the guidelines on action research, the procedural steps, and the case study is that action research is a valuable approach when you need to address a practical problem in a specific context which involves the stakeholders in the research process and bring about positive change through action and reflection. So I hope this session has helped you to appreciate the importance of action research, the various examples where typically the action research is most useful, and when a researcher can use the action research approach to conduct their inquiry in a more rigorous and fruitful manner. About GSV, my university, it is India's first and only university in transportation and logistics sector, which contributes in terms of creating best-in-class human resource for all modes of transport, rail, road, aviation, water, ports, and shipping, considering all three important dimensions: transportation, that is infrastructure; management, that is services; and policy, that is regulation. GSV extend programs at all the levels: undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD, and executive training to enable nation's aspiration to reduce its logistics cost from present 14% to 8 to 9%. In line with the vision, innovation-led industry-driven university, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya has collaborated with the various leading industries such as Airbus, Nippon Koi, Siemens, Jacobs, Plaza India Railtel, and others, and significantly contributing towards strengthening the ecosystem of transportation and logistics sector. Thank you for your interest in learning the various dimensions of faculty and student development. We will keep exploring more issues through this platform for the benefit of faculty and student, most critical entity in the higher education in India. Thank you very much.